Hello and welcome to a view from the car again this morning. What I'd like to talk about, I was just driving along my bus route, and I got to a T-junction. Not a big T-junction, just a regular T-junction, and two numpties had a car crash. Well, I say car crash, that makes it sound a bit worse than it actually was. One idiot had tried to cut off the corner to turn right onto the busy main road, and the other idiot had just crashed it. They'd collided, fender bend, a couple of broken headlights, a couple of dented bumpers, and that's pretty much it. You would think. But no, we have to leave the cars exactly where they are, because we're waiting for the police with the dogs, and we're waiting for the helicopter and the special patrol group and the riot squad. We're waiting for 15 fire engines, 27 ambulances, even though the people are stood outside of their cars looking at the two cars, and wondering how it is their luck turned so dreadful. I mean, when one of the cars had clearly not even bothered with the giveaway lines or markings and just decided to blast right, thinking he or she could take a bit of a liberty there and get out in front, because that's what it's all about at the end of it all. Let's get out in front. I've got to be in front, got to be in front, got to be in front. Oh look, I've outdriven my ability, and the few seconds I was trying to save I've now wasted because I'm stuck here for an hour. But why leave your cars blocking the road like that? They've got to make a big performance, they've got to make a big song and a dance about it. Look at us, look everybody, I'm not going down that way. Look at us, isn't it terrible? We've had a car crash, you can all drive around us. Everybody's got a smartphone in their pocket now. Everybody's got a camera in their pocket. Just take your pictures, do a little video if you have to, get your cars shifted. You don't need to be blocking the junction. You don't need to leave your cars there for 7 years. You just need to take your pictures, move your cars to a safe place, and then exchange details with the other person. That's it. You don't need, unless you suspect the other motorist, and I use motorist because I'm not going to say driver because obviously they're not. You exchange details with the other motorist. You don't need to call the police unless you suspect that person has been drinking, in which case yes, call the police. Unless you can smell that, unless they smell like they've been using scotch as aftershave, then unless anybody's injured, you don't need ambulances. Unless somebody needs to be cut out of the cars, which in this case, no. Just take the pictures, do a little video if you need to, get what you need to do, and move. That's as simple as that. I can't make it any easier. I can't explain it any simpler. Unless you've got somebody injured in the car, yes, then obviously don't move them because of spinal injuries and whiplash and one thing and another. Don't move them. But when you're outside, standing there chatting and shooting the breeze with the other person, oh look at us, we've barely got a teaspoon of driving talent between us. Isn't life tough? Obviously nobody's injured. I mean, I'm not suggesting for a second that, but then they say, oh, it's a terrible crash, or the fire brigade come out and cut the roof off. And I've said to people in the past, yeah, but that's not really an indicator anymore of how serious a car accident was, because if they suspect you, if you've got a bit, you say, oh, my leg's a bit stiff, yeah, cut the roof off, that's it, it's gone. Cut the roof off, it's done, that's your lot. So it's not a great indicator anymore. You know, none of these cars this morning had tipped over or anything untoward. It was just a plain garden variety T-junction collision. You know, just one of those things that happens. Obviously, it's one of those things that happens because it happened. Just a bog standard 30 mile an hour. It's a horrible little junction, in fairness, but it is just a T-junction. You know, you don't need to make a big performance. You don't need to, I don't know, dress it up in, I mean, what are they waiting for? The police and the army to turn up? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. Just get it cleared. But there's this culture, isn't there? I've spoken about this before. This culture of keeping the roads blocked as much as possible. On my bus route for the last couple of days, the same bus route, there was another T-junction, plain Jane T-junction, residential road, had a set of three-way lights there, trying to sort out some drainage. Now look at this, look, parked on the left here, on the zigzags, you know. Oh, I've got to drop my kid at school, you know, so I'll just park on the zigzags because I'm a complete selfish balloon head, you know. And why are we sitting here now? There's this culture, isn't there? I mean, they, you know, oh, we've got an issue to sort out. We've got drainage issue apparently. Well, fix the issue. You don't need, the issue is in the little side road. You don't need to be having three-way traffic lights but it's to hold as many people up for as long as humanly possible. That's the point. And they just seem to, I don't know, they just seem to really get off on it. You know, they just seem to, oh God above. Look at that, a Mercedes with an indicator on, crikey. That doesn't happen every day. I'm glad I had the camera on for that. You know, there's just this culture in this country of trying to keep the roads blocked up and slowed down as much as humanly possible, whether it be in made up roadworks that are absolutely pointless because they've not even dug anything up. This malt in front here is really getting on my nerves now. Why are we still sitting here? Come on, is it a malt? No, it's a geezer, isn't it? Well, it's a bloke just sitting here now. What I did see once was somebody got to this junction and drove straight across the central reservation and turned right down the hill. Yeah, so there's, I don't know what people get out of it, just wanting to keep the roads. I mean, the council obviously they'll approve any set of roadworks as long as there's maximum inconvenience. You know, I mean, I can remember once, you know, there was, and I'm not kidding, like a 7 mile tailback. These people wanted to develop this old cement works a few miles down the road. They wanted to make a development, they wanted to make money, and I'm not kidding when I say 7 or 8 mile tailback. You know, you fight your way through. I mean, the traffic was so bad, it was queued out onto the motorway bridge. It was that bad. And, you know, and it wouldn't be so bad if you got to the roadworks, the people were busy working. But they're not. The people at my sun bars won't work. I've got the sun right in my eyes. Anyway, you know, but no, you get there and there's some blokes leaning on shovels, standing around, you know, shooting the breeze, talking about the football, whatever the case might be. And that's if they're not sitting in their van eating sandwiches and drinking tea. You know, just keep the road open. You don't need to shut the whole road down. The whole road network doesn't need to shut for 8,000 miles, for an 8,000 mile radius, just because you want to develop a housing estate and make lots of money, or because you're too stupid to look at what's coming down the road before you pull out. You should always be looking. The trouble is, these people, there's no standards anymore. That's the problem. there's no standards and there's nobody around to enforce the standards. That's the problem. That is the problem. That's the, you know, just look at what you're doing. You know, look before you turn. You've got to be looking. I know we all make mistakes and everything else, but just look at what you're driving into. Look at these idiots. Look, they've just pulled in front of this truck, knowing full well that you're going to be turning into the garden centre. You know, but there we go. So anyway, that is my moan from the car this morning. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.